Lagunitas, little Sumpin.
Life is too short to be drinking shitty beer.
Welcome to another edition of Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. First things first, you might have noticed the room has changed around a bit. It has a little bit. I've had to buy a desk. They've told me that I've got to work from home now. I'm not going, because I work in London. I work in IT, if you're interested. It's fucking boring, and I'm not going to bore you with it. But they've told us we've got to work from home now. It's too well, not too dangerous, but because of the virus bollocks. They don't want us going in on the tube and the train, you know, and from where I am it's a 2.5 hour commute, and I used to do that on a bike, and yeah, might be doing that again. Anyway, I'm digressing. So yeah, I had to buy a desk. Now, if you're going to buy a desk because you've got to make an office in your spare room, I'd advise measuring it first, because this is fucking humongous. I bought it second hand off Gumtree, and I bought it locally, went round to pick it up. It was disassembled, and he said, oh, here's the instructions here, right? So I got it home, got it all up the stairs, cleaned everything out of the room, started putting it together, and I thought, I better look at the instructions. This is an IKEA desk, right? You know IKEA have them funny names. This is what they've called this desk. You see that? Who the fuck would call a desk jerker? Fucking jerker. And to be honest, you couldn't really, because it's very low. I'm not going to go into that. So let's just fucking park that bus in that cul-de-sac. Anyway, what else have we got? Oh yeah, that was another thing. The ongoing saga with Marston's. I've been reading up lately. I like to keep abreast of that, because that intrigues me, that does. And apparently, you know, a few weeks back they said they were going to review everybody's job. Basically, everybody has to go for another interview. I think that's basically what that was implying. And I thought, well, that must mean redundancies. But apparently, it's going to mean more jobs. And Marston's apparently are going to be releasing a beer to celebrate Wolverhampton. That's where their main brewery is. So there is going to be an ale to celebrate that. Wonder what that will taste like. Will it be good? Will it be shite? If I can get some, I'll review it. Anyway, let's get on to today's review. I'd completely forgotten about this, and it was sitting on the side, and I just happened to be looking round and found it. And it's from the Lagunitas Brewery, American brewery based in Chicago and based in California in a place called Petaluma. They're really good. I've tried a couple of theirs. The Lagunitas IPA. Really nice. If you can get hold of that, and it's quite widely available, you see it in a lot of supermarkets, and even in the corner shops I've seen it, get it. I really didn't want to try it, because I thought, oh, it's going to be some dodgy old macro brewed stuff, but it's not. It's really good, and I highly recommend getting that. I tried the other one as well. I've got it up here somewhere. Can't remember the name of it, but it's quite light. It's another sort of IPA, but it's a low ABV one. Really nice as well. And this one looks intriguing. Now, they've called it Little Something Ale, but they've deliberately not given it a classification, and they make a big thing about that. They're just leaving it up to everybody to make their own minds up about it. I've been reading up a little bit about it, about what's in it. I'll go into that in the next section. So let's find out what this is all about. Okay, as I said, there's no classification for this, but I'll get onto it in a minute, and maybe we can work something out onto what it is. It is a 7.5% beer. That's all I'm going to say now. Or a 7.5% ale. That's what they call it. They call it Sumpin ale. Yeah, whatever. Nice label. I've got to get used to this because the camera angle's changed now. Nice pin-up label. I don't know if you can see that or not. Really good. And the cap, I do like the cap. It's got a picture of a dog on the front of it. Let me just get that into focus there. There you go, lovers. There it is there. Alright. Yeah, and anything with a dog on it is alright by me. Mind you saying that, I had a fucking moment the other day with one of the dogs. Ran off and didn't come back. It was a proper Fenton moment. I don't know if you've seen that, but look up Fenton on YouTube. Quite funny. Anyway, let's stop gassing and let's get this opened up and see what it's about. Right. I have no idea what to expect, but I have got an idea of what's in it, and I'll get into that in a minute. Right, on the nose. Wow, I can smell it from here. There is a lot of hops, and I'll go into that in a minute as well. There is some hoppy goodness going on there. Very, very fruity. Very floral. Quite sweet. Sweet smelling. It reminds me, and it's the same stuff that was used in Blue Moon and Goose Island. That it's like a rosy, sort of fruity style aroma, but it's quite nice. There's also very, very subtle hints of grapefruit in that. Now, this has got 9 different hops in it, right? And I'm always wary about beers that have got so many different hops in it. 9 is a hell of a lot. And I've touched on this before, but that for me is, that is just a bombardment of flavour. But they do make a big thing about this, is that all the flavours you get in there are all coming from the hops. There's no artificially added fruit, which a lot of brewers do now. They'll add a splash of grapefruit or a splash of orange or whatever. They haven't done that. They have done nothing on that at all. This is all 100% coming from the hops that have been added. But this is 50% wheat as well. And there's so many different types of wheat in there. They use, among other styles of wheat, they've got Belgian wheat, they've got British wheat, or English wheat, I suppose, and they've got torrefied wheat. Torrefied wheat is like puffed wheat, like sugar puffs, if you like. I imagine that's what it is, but yeah, that's what torrefied. If you torrefy the wheat, you're basically puffing it up, and that's what's in there as well. So, without further ado, let me get it into the glass, because I want to see what it looks like, and I want to see, of course, what it tastes like. Now, this is chilled. I've actually had a bit of a sort out, and I've got myself a beer fridge now as well, so no more ag off the missus. All the beer is stored in the fridge now, so that's handy and dangerous because I've got to work in here. So when them meetings get a bit too much for me, it's always time to have a little dip into the fridge. What are we getting on the nose out of the glass? Same. But there isn't, with them 9 hops in there, and they make a big thing about the dry hopping on this as well, you don't get masses of aroma. I got it coming out, as I opened the bottle up, I got a whiff of sort of fruitiness, but it's very, very subdued, and it's intriguing. So I just want to taste this now, see what it's like. Remember, there's no classification in this. They've not said what style of beer it is. So let's get it down the hatch. Cheers. God. Whoa. That is different. The overwhelming thing I'm getting on this, on the first mouthful, is spice. Almost chili-like. It's very lively. There's a fruity aftertaste on it as well. Very fruity, like there's grapefruit, there's lime. I'm getting that. I'm also getting a little touch of tropical fruit like mango, but that's not the dominating thing on this. The dominating thing on this is the spice. It's almost like there's chili in it. It's that hot in your mouth, and you swallow, and it's a very dry finish on it as well. Mouthfeel, the carbonation. I mean, if you look at that, I mean that colour is a sort of it's an amber. It's a light amber colour. Carbonation looks minimal in that. Very small bubbles in there. But in the mouth, I don't know whether it's a combination of the spice and the carbonation, but it's just fucking whoa! It's like a bomb going off in your mouth. There's a fair bit of a body to it as well. Well, I'm getting lots of fruit now. Once that initial shock of it is gone, I'm not getting that huge spice that I was getting. That first mouthful though, fucking hell. Yeah, it's quite fruity now. Orangey, grapefruit, more tropical fruit coming through now as well. And there's that I don't know, like a fruity type of flavour that you get in Blue Moon, and as I say, you get it in Goose Island, and it's coming from a particular style of hop. And I'm going to find out what that hop is, because I've been getting it in quite a few lately. I tried the pale ale. What pale ale did I try the other day, and it was in there? Oh, I can't remember, but I recognised it there as well. I should find out what that is, but it's quite nice. This is still messing with my head at the moment. It's reminding me of an old style, a cross between an old style British IPA and a pale ale, British pale ale, with a bit more dry hopping going on, and a bit more of them floral flavours. That's what I'm getting from it. They haven't, as I say, they haven't classified it, and they've made a point about laughing at beer reviewers' classifications of it, and that's what it's reminding me of. It's like an old school British IPA and pale ale, cross between the two, because effectively that's what they were. An IPA was a pale ale, but it was just extra hopped for the long journey to India. More alcohol was added, more hops were added, both acted as a preservative, and of course it matured in the barrels as it was going over, and the flavours all settled down. The wheat in this is giving it a bit more body to it, but it's quite nice. It's 50% wheat, but it's not a wheat beer. There's no way. I mean, they even allude to it being a Hefeweiss, a cross between a Hefe, but I can't see that. This to me tastes like an overly hopped British IPA / British pale ale, even though it's full of American hops, if you can work that out. That's what I'm getting from it anyway. But it's nice, and apparently this is popular with lager drinkers as well. And I can see why, because the more you drink, the easier it is going down. So yeah, that's my take on it. I don't know whether that's right, I don't know whether that's wrong, I don't know whether they've done it and they are, I don't know, they're sort of playing a trick to see what, you know, what people make of it. They do make a point about saying lager drinkers like this. Lager drinkers who don't like the IPAs, you know, the hoppy IPAs and the pale ales, they like this. I can see why. But lager drinkers who don't like these IPAs, these American style IPAs and pale ales, would like British IPAs and they would like British pale ales. That's just my take on it anyway. So yeah, nice. I do like this. So what's the verdict? Well, yeah, they've said that they've not classified it, they just called it an ale, and my take is that it's, as I said 100 times before, I'll say it one more time and I won't mention it again, a cross between a British Pale Ale and a British IPA with just a little hint of an American flavour to it with them hops. I'd love to know what hops they use. I'm sure there must be British hops in there. It's nice, very drinkable, 7.5%. You wouldn't know it. I didn't get any spirit alcohol in that at all. Initial burst of spice, that died away. I don't know what that was. It was just like a bomb going off. But I'm not getting that now. And it's turned into a very, very nice, drinkable ale. And I would give that, I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10. And would I recommend it? Yeah, you've got to try this. See what you think of it, because it's not, as I say, it's not classified. So, I mean, I'll be intrigued to hear what other people think as well. In fact, I'm probably going to have a look at other reviews now. I make a point of never looking at reviews before I review something. I don't want anybody influencing what I taste, and what I taste is honestly what I'm getting from it. I don't want to be influenced. I know they put stuff on the side of the bottles, and I do read that, but I try to just put myself in the shoes of everybody and just describe honestly what I'm getting. I mean, you know, you could make up all sorts of shit that you're getting from this, but they were the dominant flavours I was getting, and it's an 8.5 out of 10. And yeah, I'd recommend it. And remember, beer is working class champagne. So before I sign off, you've got to remember that I'm sitting on a desk that is called Jerker. I don't think I've ever been called a jerker before. Called a wanker before, but never a jerker.